Hello and welcome back to the Old Charles. Today, we're diving into a coin that is absolutely packed with history. It's not the rarest, it's not made of gold or silver, but it tells a story of a nation rebuilding itself from the ashes of war. That I'm holding the 1949 2-shilling coin, also known as a florin. This unassuming piece of cupronickel is a true time capsule from the dawn of modern Britain. So, if you've ever found one of these in an old jar of coins, or are just curious about its story and value, stick around. Denomination ***, 2 shillings, or 1 florin. Year ***1949 Monarch ***, King George VI. Composition ***75% copper, 25% nickel. Diameter ***28.5 millimeters. Weight ***11.31 grams. Edge ***milled. Reeded. Now, the florin name is a throwback to a much older coin. But in the pre-decimal system, this was simply 2 shillings. And for our younger viewers, or those not from the UK, that's exactly 1/10 of a pound. Before 1971, Britain had a wonderfully complex currency system: 12 pence to a shilling, 20 shillings to a pound. So, this coin was a decently useful denomination. Think of it as the rough equivalent of a modern 2-pound coin in spending power back. Then let's look at the design, starting with the obverse. We have the portrait of King George VI, facing left. This is the classic, refined portrait by Humphrey Paget. You can see the Latin inscription around the edge: Georgiv 6d, G, Br, OMN, Rex F laughing face, IND, IMP. That's an abbreviation for Georgius 6, Dei Gratia, Britanniarum Omnium Rex, Fidei Defensor, Indii Imperator, which translates to George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. And that last part, Emperor of India, is incredibly significant for the 1949 date. India gained its independence in 1947, and just 2 years later, the title was still on the coin. It wouldn't be removed from the coinage until 1950. So, in a way, this coin captures a fleeting moment where the old imperial title was still being used, even. Already changed. On the reverse, we have a beautiful and symbolic design by artist Harold Wilson Parker. It features a rose, for England, a thistle, for Scotland, and a shamrock, for Ireland, all emerging from a single stem. This is the English rose, Scottish thistle, and Irish shamrock, design that it's a powerful symbol of unity. After the immense collective effort of World War II, this design reinforced the idea of the United Nations of Britain standing together. The inscription, as on all pre-decimal coinage, is simply 2 shillings, and the year, 1949.1949, was a tough year. Britain was 4 years out from World War II, and the country was still in the grip of austerity. Rationing was still in place, for bread, for clothes, for so many essentials. The cities were still scarred with bomb sites. The economy was strained to its absolute limit. This coin wasn't just pocket change. It was a tool for survival, for buying the basics in a recovering economy. It was minted not from precious metal, but from practical, industrial cupronickel. This was a workhorse coin for a nation of workers. Furthermore, 1949 was the year of a massive 30% devaluation of the pound sterling against the US dollar. This was a dramatic move to make British exports cheaper and try to kickstart the economy. So, the very pound that this 2-shilling piece was a part of was in a state of international crisis. The coin in your hand was part of that economic battle. All right, so you have one of these. The $1,000,000 question, or perhaps the 2-shilling question. What is it worth? Let's be brutally honest. The 1949 2-shilling coin is not a rare coin. The Royal Mint produced over 23 million of them. Because of this huge mintage, finding one is very, very easy. So, in terms of raw melt value, it's cupronickel, so essentially 0. Let's break it down. 1. Low grade, poor to fair, a coin that's been heavily circulated, with a small, metal witness to the dawn of the world we live in today. So, to wrap up, the 1949 2-shilling coin is common, but captivating. In circulated condition, it's worth a few pounds at most. But its true worth is in the story it tells, a story of austere but hopeful Britain, finding its feet in a new post-war world. The 1949 2-shilling coin, often found in collections and old drawers, is more than just a piece of outdated currency. It is a specific chapter in the long and fascinating story of the British florin, a denomination that itself was a revolutionary symbol of change. To understand the 1949 coin, we must first travel back to the mid-19th century, in the early 1800s. Britain's coinage was a complex and unwieldy system based on pounds, shillings, and pence. Pound.s.d. There were 12 pence to a shilling and 20 shillings to a pound, making calculations difficult for trade and commerce. The godless or Gothic florin, 1849 ** in 1849. Under Queen Victoria, the Royal Mint introduced a new coin, the florin, worth 2 shillings or 1/10 of a pound. This was a deliberate first step towards a decimal currency system where the pound would be divided into 100 parts, or 10 florins. The first florin was radical in two ways. 1. Its value asterisk, it was explicitly 1/10 of a pound. 2. Its design asterisk, it broke with tradition. The obverse featured a Gothic-style portrait of Victoria, and most controversially, the reverse omitted the traditional abbreviation DG, asterisk Dei Gratia asterisk, by the grace of God. This earned it the nickname, the Godless Florin. The public outcry was significant, and the design was quickly changed. The double florin, 1887 to 1890 asterisk, a short-lived and unpopular coin worth 4 shillings was introduced, confusingly similar in size to the crown, 5 shillings. It was quickly withdrawn. The old head, or veiled head, florin, 1893 to 1901 a mature portrait of Victoria, was used for the final years of her reign. The Edwardian florin, 1902 to 1910 under Edward VII. The florin settled into a more standardized design. The George V florin, 1911 to 1936 the florin continued through the reign of George V, witnessing the traumas of World War I, which led to the replacement of silver with cupronickel, 50% silver, 50% base metal, in 1920, and then to a pure cupronickel composition in 1947. This brings us to our specific coin, the 1949 2-shilling piece of King George VI. It belongs to the English rose, Scottish thistle, and Irish shamrock design series. Introduced in 1937, a symbolism the design of 3 national flowers emerging from a single stem was a powerful symbol of unity. Coming just before World War II and continuing after, it represented the collective strength of England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland during and after the conflict. Post-war austerity Britain in 1949 was a nation still recovering from World War II. Rationing was still in effect for many goods, including clothing and bread. The economy was fragile, and the coin was a utilitarian object in a time of scarcity. The end of an empire the obverse inscription is a historical fossil. It reads, Georgiev's 6D, G, BR, OMN, Rex F laughing face, IND. IMP the critical part is IND. IMP which stands for Indii Imperator Emperor of India. However, India had gained its independence in 1947. The coin's inscription lagged behind political reality, and the title would be removed from all coinage in 1950. This makes the 1949 issue one of the last British coins to bear the title Emperor of India. Economic crisis in September 1949. The UK government was forced to devalue the pound sterling by 30% against the US dollar to boost exports. The very currency system this 2-shilling piece belonged to was under severe international strain. The 1949 George VI florin was minted for just a few more years until his death in 1952. His daughter, Queen